Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. I'm gonna run it back with the sharks. We were supposed to do this yesterday, but like Dad woke up earlier than I expected, so he usually always makes a bunch of noise, so I don't feel like stream was really doable in that instance. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna try to run it back with the sharks. Let's see what we can do with them. And this time I'm gonna try to do some ranked matches, though I don't really know how well this deck's gonna fare against like the meta, but like we're gonna have a good time regardless. Excuse me. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to do a proper deck profile this time. So anyway, Sharks is a strategy that revolves around summoning water rank 3s, 4s, and 5s. It's usually through Buzzsaw Shark that we get to do that. Buzzsaw is a card that can target any water on the field, any water I control, and then special summon a water monster from my deck that's the same level but a different name. And this guy, when paired with Lantern Shark over here, can essentially make any rank 3, 4, or 5 we want, basically. And usually our deck kind of revolves around just getting to this guy as quickly as possible, which is why we have Tuneful Princess here. Tuneful Princess is a card that, when normal summoned, could banish herself to special summon a level 4 or lower fish monster from the deck, which is usually going to be Bahamut Buzzsaw Shark, but in some scenarios it would be better to go for like a Lantern Shark. Just to kind of give you the, you know what, yeah, we might as well just read this now. Lantern Shark is a card that, if on normal or special summon, can special summon a level 3, 4, or 5 water monster from hand, which is just nice. It's good for swarming the field and making Xyz. And also, both Lantern and Buzzsaw Shark have the effect that if they're used for the Xyz summon of a water monster, you can treat them as a level 3 or a level 5 monster. So for example, they're both level 4, so they can make pretty much any rank 4 we want. However, if we want to make a water Xyz, like Baryon Shark for example, they can both be treated as level 3s because Baryon Shark is a water monster. Or if you want to make a level 5 like Nash Knight, they could both be treated as level 5s, and that's kind of the bread and butter of the deck. However, there are some, like you can summon any. I'd say for the second most noble card in the deck, I'd say is Abyss Shark. Abyss Shark is a card that, Abyss Shark and Crystal Shark kind of have the inverse of Buzzsaw and Lantern Shark's effect, where they're 2 level 5 monsters that could be treated as level 3 or 4s for the summon of a number monster, which you think would give the deck more versatility in what it could do, but Abyss Shark has an effect where if it's summoned by its own effect, which given that it's a level 5, it probably is going to be summoned by its effect, it'll lock you into waters for the rest of the turn, so you really can't use it to make any number you want unless you wait a turn, which isn't really ideal. But anyway, you can make pretty much anything. Speaking of Abyss Shark, Abyss Shark is a card that, if all monsters we control are water, we can special summon it from our hand, and if we do, we can add a level 3, 4, or 5 fish monster, which is just a great extender. There's a lot of great things, there's just a lot of good cards we can use for this effect. For example, we could get Crystal Shark to make a rank 5 water, to make our Nash Knight. We could these two make pretty much any number monster in our extra deck, which is most of the cards in our extra. I feel like the only non-number monsters we have in here are the Nash Knight, Zeus, and Abyss Dweller. Everything else here is a number monster. And the few that aren't, we can make with them anyway, because Nash Knight is a level 5, so we don't really need to modulate their levels, they're already 5. We also have another level 5 form, Dream Shark, who's just a free special summon if we control no monsters, or if all monsters we control are water, which is good, because there are some instances where you have Crystal and Abyss Shark, but you want to use one of them for a rank 4, so getting Dream Shark is nice in that instance. Plus it also has a neat bonus effect where our opponent does any effect damage to us, it can special summon itself from the graveyard, which is not going to come up super often, but it's just kind of a nice little bonus effect. Anyway, speaking of, now let's talk about Crystal Shark. Crystal Shark is a card. Crystal Shark has the same kind of level modulation effect as Abyss Shark, but it doesn't have the water lock, which is nice. But it does have the effect that if this card is in our hand or graveyard, we can target a water monster in the field, special summon it from the hand or graveyard, and if we do, the monster's attack is halved. The interesting thing about Crystal Shark is that it can actually be applied to any water monster in the field. So theoretically, if our opponent has a water monster, we could just target their card and reduce its attack, then special summon Crystal Shark, which is a really cool thing. And there's some neat tech you could do with that. Like, for example, like there's a kaiju monster that's also water attribute that you can use alongside this. Yeah, like Gamsail right here. You would essentially summon this over any monster your opponent controls, and then you can use Crystal Shark's effect to reduce its attack points by half its attack points. And I think, actually, if I recall correctly, oh yeah, like this shark also has a bonus effect that the first battle damage a monster you control, also double the first battle damage inflicted to your opponent this turn by your number. That is such an odd effect, because I feel like that never really comes up. Or at least it doesn't come up. It either doesn't come up very often, or I just don't notice, which, I mean, that's fair, like, which, I mean, either way, really. And as for the rest of the cards in the deck, in this deck, we have one copy of Right-Hand Shark and Left-Hand Shark. Right-Hand Shark has the effect when it's normal summon, you can add Left-Hand Shark from your deck to the hand, and if this card is in our graveyard and we have no monsters, we can special summon this card from our graveyard. And it also also if it's used for DXC summon of a monster, it makes it so that that monster can't be destroyed by battle. So theoretically, we can use Buzzsaw Shark, summon Right Hand, and anything we make with these two becomes indestructible by battle, which makes a card like Stealth Cragger or Hopeful with Spider Shark just really annoying to deal with. And as for Left-Hand Shark, yeah, Left-Hand Shark has the effect that if this card's in the grave, is that if this card's in the graveyard while Right-Hand Shark is on the field, in the hand or graveyard, it can special summon itself from either, if I recall. Yeah, it can special summon itself. It can special summon itself from the hand or the graveyard as long as Right Hand is on the field. And what this card does is that if it's special summoned from the graveyard specifically, it becomes a level 4 monster. And it gives any exceeds it. And this card gives any exceeds used to make it the effect that it cannot be destroyed by card effects. So any card that has both that was exceeds someone using Right and Left Hand Shark essentially can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, which is really annoying. And plus, like, these two basically essentially make it so that you, like, if you have both of these two in rotation, you basically always have access to, like, a rank 4 at any point in the duel, and it's really nice. The one thing I really wish is that I really wish Right Hand Shark, like, got its effect on special summon too. The fact that it has to be normal summoned is a little annoying because, like, this deck already has a lot of good normal summons like Bahamut, Princess, and Lantern. Like, there are already quite a few normals in this, good normal summons in this deck, and you really don't want to waste it on Right Hand Shark. Regardless, it is an option. White Stingray is a neat card. It's just kind of a neat level 4 extender that we can search. Basically, it can discard itself, special summon itself by discarding a water, and this has a lot of neat utility in the deck. Because Crystal Shark can special summon itself from grave, we can normal summon Right Hand, get Left Hand, and then use White Stingray to pitch it to the graveyard, and then Left Hand special summons itself, and we can make pretty much anything indestructible by battle or card effects. And it also has neat synergy with White Mirror, so if we have like a oh yeah, White Mirror is a card that can target a level 4 lower fish in the graveyard, special summon it, then add another copy of that card from the deck. Another copy of that card. So theoretically, if we have White Stingray plus like a Buzzsaw or Lantern Shark, we can pitch either of those two with White Stingray and then use White Mirror to bring it back and then add another copy. So, like I said, there's just a lot of really neat stuff like that. Yeah, as for the last three, we have Silent Angler, who's just a water that can special summon himself if we have other waters on the field. Exceeds Remore is an interesting one, because like it's a really good card, but there's really just not a lot you can do with him. Like his primary purpose in the deck is going to just be as a way for us to like get enough damage on board to kill our opponent. That's essentially what he's going to be doing most of the time. Like, it's a good, like, essentially we can special summon him by detaching 2 Xyz materials from an Xyz monster we control. Then when it's special summoned by its effect, we can target 2 level 4 actually, yeah, I don't know, just fish, not waters in general. Yeah, we can essentially target 2 level 4 fish monsters on our graveyard and special summon them. So it's a neat extender, but there's really not a lot you can do with them. Like, I wish there was a little more you could do with this guy, but regardless, it is good for like pushing for game and getting damage on board. And that's essentially all for like the in-engine shark stuff. Like one of the neat things about this deck is that like the engine, like the actual shark cards is really small engine, and as a result you have a lot of room for just kind of tech cards and like hand traps and stuff. And like, speaking of hand traps, we have 3 Droll, which is just here to deal with Super Heavy Samurai and Snake Eyes, and which, I mean, you kind of do need this card to deal with those decks, because Super Heavy Samurais and Snake Eyes are just absurd without them. We're playing Maxi because you have to run Maxi. There's no other option. It's a stupid card. Maxi because it's Maxi, you have to run it. Maxi basically runs the game, and as a result you pretty much have to play it. And due to that, you kind of have to play Ash Blossom as well, even though... Oh yeah, I probably should explain what these cards do. Anyway, Droll and Lockbird is a card that, if our opponent ever like adds a card, searches out a card, we can activate this and make it so that he can't draw or add cards for the rest of the turn. Really annoying card, and it really helps to deal with a lot of like the powerful meta decks in the game right now. Though the annoying thing about Droll and Lockbird and Master Duel specifically is because like it has like it's an annoying it's kind of weird in the sense that you really don't want to use it when you have Max C on the board. However, if you have Max C life, because like if you activate Max C and Droll and Lockbird makes it so you can't draw any cards off Max C. So it's like and as a result, like Droll and Lockbird, while it is a really strong card, it also feels really bad to use in Master Duel because of that like anti-synergy. I mean, I guess it can be used as like a counter, but like a lot of decks do need to search a bunch in order to really get their plays going, and as a result of that, it's kind of a risky maneuver to do. So like, it's interesting. Anyway, Maxi is a card that we can just discard from a discard. Or I guess it's technically not a discard, it's a send from hand to graveyard, which is annoying because like if you have Macrocosmos on the board, you can't activate this. But what Maxi does is if our opponent special summons at all, we can draw 1 card, and this is not, like this, we can draw as many times as our opponent special summons, which in Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Basically means if our opponent plays the game at all, we just draw 1,000,000 cards. And that's why this card's so broken. It basically runs this game and has like an almost 100% usage rate. That's not even a joke. Like, it's ridiculous, and you basically have to play it in everything. Like, the number of decks I can play around Maxi is incredibly small. Like, it's very small, and even those decks play Maxi just because it's such a powerful card that can shut down your opponent's turn. Like, it's ridiculous, and it really should have been banned like a year ago. Like, it really shouldn't still be around. It's stupid. Anyway, as a result of Maxi being such a prevalent card, they have to play the Counterstone, which in the Counterstone Maxi are Ash Blossom, Crossout, Called by the Grave. These 3 cards all act as a way to negate Maxi, so that you can actually play the game. Like roughly half of your duels in Master Duel are going to be, not really half, more like, actually no, it probably is half. Like roughly like around like 40 to 50% of your duels in Master Duel are going to be won or lost depending on if this card resolves. It's that powerful. Anyways, because of that, you need to play the counters to this card, which, I mean, Droll can technically be considered a counter to Maxi because it stops you from adding cards, but even then, getting just 1 card is really strong in Yu-Gi-Oh! Just drawing 1 card is really strong. And plus, it also kind of hurts you as much as it's hurting your opponent because Droll is 2-sided. Like, cards are not going to cannot be drawn or added to the hand for the rest of this turn by both players. It's not like 1-sided like Thunder Dragon Colossus. So yeah. Anyway, the main counters to Maxi are Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is a card that if a card were to be drawn, special summon, or sent from deck to graveyard, you can discard it to negate that effect. This is just kind of a really powerful hand trap in general. Like, most decks are nowadays, like, a lot of decks, especially nowadays, are strong enough to where, like, 1 Ash isn't really going to stop you. Like, the main reason you play this at 3 is because Maxi just runs the game and you need to have some way of negating it. And Ash Blossom's kind of the main card that does that. Plus, Ash Blossom just has a lot of generically good utility as well. Like denying, like, search, like, denying your opponent like a surge or like a special summon from deck is really powerful. Even if it's not enough to end your opponent's turn, it's enough to where like you're not really going to get the deal end board they want, which is, like I said, it's still a really good card. It still sees a lot of play because it's a good card. Like, it's one of those cards where even if Maxi didn't exist, it would still be played a shit ton because it's just a really good card. As for the other two, Called by the Grave is a card that can target a monster in the graveyard, banish it, and until the end of the next turn, its effects are negated. So, like, if I do Called by Ash on my turn, it would still be negated from on my opponent's turn too. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Though Called by the Grave is a ridiculous card that's very annoying because not only is it good for dealing with like hand traps like Ash Blossom, Troll, and Maxi, it's also could just be used to shut down your opponent's combo because like a lot of decks because while Sharks in particular don't really need the graveyard that much, there are certain strategies in the game like, okay, like for example Snake. For example, let's get Snake. Let me show you an example. For example, like if you Called by the Grave Snake Eyes Flamber, you can like, for example, usually during the Snake Eyes combo, like you're going to send a copy of Flamberge to the graveyard to activate its effect to special summon 2 fires from grave. However, you hit that with Called by the Grave, not only is he not going to be able to summon those 2 monsters, your opponent's also not going to be able to use the effect to place a monster from the graveyard into your spell trap zone. And that's really important because the Snake Eyes combo, usually you want to place like IP Masquerada in the back row and did special summon it during your opponent's turn. However, if you do Call by the Grave that, it completely shuts that down. And not only that, also Poplar is also another one because like Poplar is a card that if it's in the graveyard, it can place itself in the spell trap zone, and that's really important for the Snake Eyes combo. So if you hit that with Call by the Grave, not only it basically kind of stops the entire combo. And like Call by the Grave is a really strong card in general. Like there's like for example in the TCG where Maxi is banned, this card is at 1 because it's just that good. Like it's a ridiculous card. Like it's a ridiculously strong card that can just end your opponent's turn, or really, like it can end their entire combo altogether. Yeah, like it's a ridiculously strong card. And speaking of cards that, I mean, Crosset's a good card, but it's really not strong enough to warrant being at 1, in my opinion. Like Crosset is a card that you can declare a card name, banish it from your deck, and if you do, the effects of that card is negated for the rest of the turn. Like, if you ask me, this is the card that should be at 2, and Called by should be at 1, because, like, comparatively speaking, Designator just isn't as good as, like, Called by or Ash Blossom. Really, the only reason it's at 1 is because Maxi forces every deck to have the same 9 cards in them. Like, the only reason this card is at 1 is because, due to Maxi existing, every deck is playing, like, the same 9 cards. Like, that's the only reason this card is at 1. Like, even under that logic, like even under that logic, Called Grave is. These two should be switched around on the ban list. Like Crossout should be at 2, this should be at 1. But regardless, like if your opponent's like, for example, yeah, Crossout is a card that can on paper negate anything, but like in practice that only really applies in like if you're playing like a mirror match. Like you're playing a mirror match, because in most case scenarios this is just a way to negate a hand trap, which like that's still good, but like compared to like Called by the Grave or Cyframe Gamma, it just doesn't do that nearly as well as those 2 cards do, because like you need to also be playing that card to, oh wait. Apparently that wasn't anything, but oh well. Yeah, back to what I was saying. Like, Closet Designator is on paper. I mean, yeah, Actually, I'm kind of like giving it too much shit. Like Crossout is still a good card. Like just being able to negate hand traps is really good because it is just really good in Yu-Gi-Oh general. But like compared to like Minor Grave and Cypher and Gamma, like Crossout just isn't nearly as good. But for some reason, that one, while those cards are at 2. This is essentially another way for us to negate Max C or a Droll or maybe an Ash, like on our turn, so that we can do our full combo uninterrupted. Like still a good card, but it's not as good as like the other like anti-hand trap cards. Excuse me. Okay, thank God I was not muted. Okay, let me see. Okay, let me see. Okay, thank God. Oh my God, thank you. Like I thought my mic was muted again. Like I was going to cry if I was muted. Like thank God it does save that. Oh, man. Like I would have cried if I was muted during that entire thing. Oh well. As for the rest of our, like I think I've gone over almost everything. There's just a few cards left. For starters, Nibiru the Primal Being. Nibiru is a card that during the main phase of, if our opponent summons 5 or more monsters, we can tribute everything on the board and then special summon this guy and a token. This is really good for dealing with like these big combo decks that have like these big combo decks like Snake Eyes and actually primarily Snake Eyes because like super heavy samurais are capable of making a negate before 5 summons, but depending on the build they don't really do that though. Like it's doable, it's just not very often you see it. But like this is a card that's good for dealing with combo decks because like usually combo decks like shit out a bunch of monsters on the board and try to make this super strong end board full of negates. But this card can stop it in its tracks if you know how to play it right. And that's kind of why I like Nibiru because I feel like Nibiru is kind of like Max C if it wasn't as poorly designed as it is. Because like Nibiru kind of serves the same function as Max C. It's a card that punishes like these big wombo combo decks. However, the difference is that Nibiru not only requires more thought to use, but there's ways for both you and there are also ways for your opponent to play around it. Whereas if you're at Resolve Max C against like a big combo deck like Zapater or Super Heavy Samurai, there's really nothing they can do. Like you'll draw so much card advantage that any board they set up can be broken with ease. Yeah, like generates so much advantage, so much ease that they're basically forced to just end their turn. There's no play they can really make that doesn't give you like 3 or more like 3 to 5 cards. Like even if you were just to go like Baguska line, even that's like a pot of greed at least, which is really ridiculous. Anyway, I'll be right back. Okay, like, I was just attending to the doggy. Anyway, as for what I was saying, yeah, Nibiru kind of serves that same function as Maxi, where it's a card designed to punish combo decks. Whereas the problem with Maxi is that, like, drawing even, like, 1 or 2 cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is insanely strong. It's like cards like Pot of Extravagance, Pot of Desires, both have hefty drawbacks to them. But for some reason, a card that has no drawback or restriction on it, that does far more, is just at 3 for some reason. Like it's a card where it's like against a lot of decks, like for example, Super Heavy Samurai. Super Heavy Samurai is a deck where it's like if Maxi resolves against them, they basically can't do anything. Like the best play like Super Heavy Samurai can make on like for example decks like Super Heavy Samurai or Salamandrate, like the best play they can make under Maxi is just making a Baguska, and even that gives your opponent like 2 or 3 draws, which is more than enough for your opponent to just win the game outright. Like I said, Maxi resolving wins you the game. It's really that simple. Whereas Nibiru is a card that requires more thought to use, while also there's ways for your opponent to play around it. And that as a result is a much better... Huh? Wait, what's... Okay, wait, it just paused, okay. Okay, I'm just getting like stream caught up. Okay, we're back. Yeah, we are back. Okay. Anyway, yeah, Nibiru, I really like Nibiru. It's such a cool card, and it's just a better way of punishing combo deck that isn't as poorly designed as Max C is. And I think I've gone over every card. Like, I think I did a much better job at the deck profile. Oh wait, no, I still have a few more. That is Triple Tactics Thrust. Thrust is a card that has the effect that if our opponent activates a monster effect during our turn, aka like activating a hand trap like Maxi or Ash Blossom, we can set a card from our deck, set a normal spell or trap from our deck onto the field, or if our opponent controls a monster, we just add that card to our hand. Which is important because like because Triple Tactics Thrust has the effect that if we set like a normal spell or trap by its effect, we cannot activate it this turn. Yeah, the set card cannot be activated this turn. So ideally, if we're going first, our opponent activates a hand trap, we're ideally going to be setting one of our normal trap cards. And we have two pretty good ones here. Two pretty good ones. However, our opponent has a monster, we're going to be adding either Triple Tactics Talent, which, depending on what we want, can either draw us 2 cards, take control of a monster they have, or look at our opponent's hand. Or we can add our White Mirror to hand, which is just a nice extender if we need it. Yeah, speaking of those, I already talked. Yeah, if our opponent Triple Tactics Talent can only be activated if our opponent activated a monster effect during the main phase, which is very doable. Like, Ash Blossom is still like the second most played card in the game, so it's very likely that they're going to activate some kind of monster effect during the main phase. So, like, this is, like, Triple Tactics Talent's such an interesting card, because, like, I still don't really know how much I like this card, because, like, I want, I don't know, like, I feel like, in general, in Yu-Gi-Oh! Going second is so rough as is, and Triple Tactics Talent is a card that actively punishes your opponent for interacting with your board at all. And as a result of that, I don't really like it all that much. Like I said, it's a fun card to use, and it has a lot of cool effects, but like at the same time, it's like, in a game where going second sucks, do we really need a card like this? Like in a game where going second already sucks. Okay. But regardless, it's still a really strong card, and we're playing it. It's a good way of like breaking boards, because we can take control of our opponent's strongest monster, which either forces them to negate talents, or we can just use their strongest monster to break their board, which is really good. Like, it's pretty obviously really good. And as for the 2 traps we have Torrential Tribute, which, yeah, if our opponent special summons a monster, destroy. Then you're probably thinking why would we play a card that can destroy our stuff? Well, it's because, like, the cards we have like, most of our guys float into something. Or, like, not really most of them, more so, like, it's really just Stealth Cracker, actually. Stealth Cracker is, like, Stealth Cracker and Spider Shark are, like, the only 2 cards in the deck that float, but they do float. They are just really annoying cards in general. But, like, regardless, just having, like, a board nuke that we can do at any point is really good. Is really strong. And even then, like, I could set up some stuff. Like, for example, Right Hand Shark can special summon itself from graves. So, like, even then, us torrentialing our own board. Oh yeah, and Left Hand Shark can also protect one of our guys from being destroyed by its effect. So it's like, yeah, it's not really that bad for us. Generally it's going to be worse for our opponent than it is for us, basically. And the other trap card we have is Xyz's Revive Splash. Like, Revive Splash has the effect that it can target a rank 4 or lower Xyz, special summon it. Its attribute becomes water for some reason, even though I don't think there's any deck that plays this. It's Sharks. I don't even know why it changes attribute. Like Shark Drake, which is the monster on the card art, is already a water monster. So, like, or at least I think it is. I'm pretty sure Shark Drake's a water monster. Like, it wouldn't really make any sense for Shark Drake to be anything other than water. Yeah, both the Shark Drakes are water, so, like, why does it have that effect? I watched the entirety of Yu-Gi-Oh! Zex, so Like, what? Why does it have that effect? Like, why does it have that effect? Like I've watched the entirety of Yu-Gi-Oh's Exile, and I don't recall a scenario in which this card is used for a non-water monster. So, like, it having that effect is just really odd. Anyway, it also has the effect that we can banish it from the graveyard and then rank up a water monster into a water Xyz monster into an Xyz that's one rank higher. So, for example, we can rank up Hope Woman's Fire Shark into, like, Silent Honor Arc. Oh yeah, right, I haven't even gone over the extra deck much, really. So anyway, for our guys, let's go from the smallest to biggest. For the smallest guy, we have number 71, Rebarian Shark. If you're wondering about the numbers, it's a Zexal anime thing. Like, the numbers essentially represent, like, Astral's memories, and numbers 0 through 100 represent Astral's memories, whereas 101 through 107 are the Barian numbers created by Dawn 1000. That's the basic gist of it. Anyway, number 71, Rebarian Shark, is our only rank 3, and really the only one that's worth playing, really. At least for now. Like, once they add the Armored Xyz cards, that'll make, like, Leviath. That'll make, like... No, wait, yeah, let's just... Xyz, Water... Wait, where is it? Yeah, like, once the Armored Xyz cards come out, like, Leviathan Dragon will become a pretty decent card just because it gets us to the full Armored Xyz line. But until those cards get released to Master Duel, speaking of which, Konami, please give us those cards already. But, like, until then, like, Leviathan Dragon really ain't worth using. Like, until then, like, this is, like, the only rank that you have that's worth using. And anyway, like, you have 0 attack, 2000 defense, and okay, like... Okay, like, I need to drink some water. Okay, yeah, Rebarian Shark has the effect that once per turn, if this card has Xyz, once per turn, we can target a number of Xyz monsters in our graveyard and special summon it, and then we can attach an material from Rebarian Shark to the card we summoned. And if it's sent to graveyard, we can place a rank up magic spell. That's mostly for, like, you're probably wondering why it even has that second effect. Well, it's because it's for one specific rank up. Like, I'll show you, like, what card that's meant to be. Chick. It's meant for one specific one. This card, Rank Up Magic the 7th. It's a card that you need to draw it for your normal draw, then reveal it, and only then you can activate it. And, like, it's such a weird card, because it's like, it needs so much setup, and it's such a... Like, I was playing that in the deck originally, but it's like, it's such a bricky card, because it's like, unless you... There's, like, only one other way you can really activate it, it's through 7th Ascension. 7th Ascension, like, it lets you add a Barian Spell Trap or a Rank Up Magic. Spell Trap or a Rank Up Magic, and you can banish it from your graveyard to activate it. Like, that's essentially a way to unbrick the 7th one from your hand. But, like, still, like, even in that instance where you can, like, use 7th one to use, like, kind of cheat around its restriction, to cheat around its activation requirement, it's still just kind of a meh card, because, like, what it essentially does is that it lets you special summon a number between 101 and 107, and then use that monster to exceed some of their chaos variants. And really, to be honest, it really isn't that good of a ROM. It really isn't. When you look at the targets, you essentially have, like, I think there's only, like, one of them that's really worth going for, because, like, it's like, Umbral Horror Masquerade is a pretty good target for this, but it's like, are we really gonna put 2 guys on an extra deck for a bricky card that doesn't really do much by itself? Like, it doesn't really do as much. Like, it doesn't do enough to warrant the requirement it has. Like, it's a cool anime card, but that's really about it. It's really about it. Like, we're not playing that. And as a result, we don't really have any... I mean, there are some... Yeah, we really just have nothing that we can really play with this. Like, we're mostly just playing it for the ability to special summon a number from the graveyard. That's the primary reason we're playing this. Now for our large rank 4 lineup, we start with one of our few non-number monsters, that is Abyss Dweller. Abyss Dweller is a card that We could detach a material from it, and for the rest of the turn, cards cannot be activated in the graveyard. This is a really strong card, and it was basically mandatory during tier limit format, where like you basically needed to play this card. Like if you were playing any deck that wasn't tier limit during tier format, you had to play this card in the extra deck. Ah man. Even then, it's still a really strong card. Just being able to deny your opponent graveyard effects is really strong, even in the current meta. Because like, Snake Eyes for like I said, going back to the Snake Eyes example, both pop like Flamberge's graveyard to special summon guys from the special summon 2 fires from grave is really important for their combo. So like, and plus being able to stop Poplar from setting itself on the spell trap zone, like it's really like it is still a really strong card. And plus it also has the bonus effect that if all monsters that were used to make it actually, oh wait, no, it doesn't require all monsters made. Like it just requires you to have a water monster for it to. Oh, that's a little bit better than I thought. Anyway, if it has a water monster as material, it'll give all of our guys 500 attack, and this is actually really important for OTKing because it lets us get extra damage on board. It's like, yeah, let's just get some extra damage on board. As for like the actual, I'm pretty sure every other like monster we have is a number. Right 4 we have is a number. So starting the number lineup off pretty strong. We have number 101 Silent Honor Art, which was like Shark's main number monster. Essentially it was Shark's like Barian number in the anime. And it's a really strong card. Essentially, it's a generic rank 4 that has the effect that we can detach 2 materials from it and then attach a face-up attack position monster to this card as material. And it also has another effect that I've never actually read. Once per turn of this face-up card in the field, if you destroy it. Oh, okay, it just has a protection effect. Yeah. Usually, Silent Honor Arc is a really good card. However, we're not really going to be summoning it very often. It's in here for one specific reason. Like, it's still a good card, but it's like, it's in the deck for one specific reason. It's for its Chaos number variant. Number Chaos 101, Silent Honor Dark. Silent Honor Dark requires 3 level 5s, or ideally we're just going to be ranking up into it. And it has the effect that once per turn you can target a special summon monster your opponent controls, attach it to it as material. So essentially, hypothetically, if we had like a way to get to a rank up magic, we can summon Silent Honor Dark, suck up a attack position monster, then rank it up into Chaos 101, and then like just suck up another monster. And that's monster. And like this, like these two, like and plus Silent Honor Dark has. Okay, yeah, that. Okay, yeah, I am remembering the effect correctly. And when it's sent to the graveyard, while it has material, you can special summon it from the graveyard, but only if you have the original 101 in the grave. So primarily we're going to be trying to rank up into this and having this. So essentially, as long as we have this guy in grave and Dark has materials, we can just infinitely bring it back. And it also lets you gain life points. Then gain life point equals the original attack of this guy. That's not really that useful of an effect. That was from the anime, so that Shark wouldn't lose the Quattro. No, you really contrive. Like, that entire duel, while really sick and thematic, it's like Shark really should have just lost that duel, like, when you really think about it. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Anyway, as for next number, we have number 103, Ragna Zero. This was Shark's sister Rio's variant number. And she has, and Ragna Zero is a generic rank. Okay, like, how do people do this for multiple hours? Like, they thought it's already getting sorted and we haven't even been at. Like, I don't know how people do this for like hours on end. My throat's getting sore and we haven't even gotten to hit the hour mark. Like, yeah, we haven't even hit the hour mark and my throat's already starting to feel sore. Like, Jesus Christ, how do people do this for like there are streamers who like do this shit for like 4-5 hours every day, and I'm just wondering how the fuck you do it. Oh my god, my throat's already killing me. Okay. Anyway, Ragna Zero is a generic rank 4 that has the effect that once per turn you can target. Once per turn, quick effect, you can detach one Xyz material from this card, then target a face-up attack position monster your opponent controls whose attack is higher than from its original attack, destroy it, and then draw a card. This is important because Snake Eyes, once again, we're going back to the Snake Eyes example. Like, it's not gonna come up super often, but like once again we're gonna go back to like Snake Eye. Snake Eyes attack. The Snake Eyes field spell has the effect that it'll give level 1 fire monsters 101 attack, meaning that Ragnazir's effect actually does come up. Since Snake Eyes is like arguably the best deck, like there's that debate to be had between like Snake Eyes and Super Heavy Samurai for which one's better at the moment. Like there's an argument to be made for both, but like I feel like Snake Eyes is a little bit better in my opinion. Like I like Super Heavy Samurai more, but in my opinion I feel like Snake Eyes is just a better deck. Regardless, they're both really strong. Anyway, what I was saying is that the Snake Eyes field spells gives all the level 1 guys like 1,000 attack, I think? 1,100, oddly specific, but okay. Like, yeah, 1,100. Both Ash and Oak are like two very important cards for the Snake Eyes combo, and well, like you're always going to be using Popular to get to the field spell. So, like essentially, what you do is that your opponent activates the field spell. They're going to put Flamberge on the board. That will give both Ash and Popular 1,000 extra attack, and then Ragnazero pops Ash, and now they can't do anything. Now they cannot do anything unless they have Diabell Star in hand. So it's like, it is relevant. Plus that gets us an additional draw, which means we can draw into like hand traps, like follow up on the next turn. Like it lets us do it quite a bit. Okay. Next we have Hopeful and Spider Shark, another generic. Actually, it's technically not generic. It requires waters, but like there's a large pool of waters I can do that. But regardless, let's go. It's a rank 4 that requires 2 level 4 water monsters, and when they attack is declared involving a monster. When an attack is declared involving a monster, you get to detach a material from this card. All monsters your opponent controls lose 1,000 attack until the end of the turn. It's not like the most impressive effect, but it is useful, especially given that you can, like if you make this using left-hand Shark, you just have a really annoying card out because it can't be destroyed by card effects, and if your opponent tries to beat over it, you just make it super weak. Like this kind is actually really. And it also has the additional effect that if it's destroyed by battle or card effects, you can target a monster in the graveyard special. Oh wow! You can target any monster, not just waters. Though it does need waters to make it, so I guess that does make sense. It'd kind of be redundant if only special waters on top of. But regardless, it also floats, which is nice. So essentially, if you have this guy plus, so essentially, if we have like a. I think it's just a nice card. It's not like the best rank 4 in our arsenal, but it is just a nice card to have. That should just be really annoying to deal with. As for, like, I'd argue, like, our main rank 4, number 4 is Stealth Cracker. Stealth Cracker has the effect that all face-up monsters on the field become water, and this usually doesn't matter. Like, most decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! Don't really care about their attribute. Most of them care more about monster type or care about like a monster type or like there's something else. I completely lost track. Care about like, oh yeah, right. Most decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! Only really care about monster type or the name specifically. They don't really. A lot of decks don't really care about the attribute. However, once again, let's go back to the Snake. I have brought up Snake Eyes so many times. Snake Eyes, like I'm pretty. Actually, it's not really even. I'm pretty sure. Like for example, Snake Eyes can't make Hita the Fire Charmer because Hita requires two monsters, including a fire. So if we have Stealth Cracker on the board, our opponent essentially can't make Hita. And not only that, also like, can they make? Actually, wait, yeah, I don't. Actually, no, they can. No, they can make stuff under Promethean Princess because like this card only makes stuff waters on the field. Like, it doesn't make cards in the graveyard water monsters. Yeah, just on the field, not graveyard or extra deck. So they theoretically would be capable of summoning non-water monsters from the extra deck or graveyard. So this doesn't affect. Though actually, yeah, like Promethean. Like under this card, like you can't activate Promethean Princess's graveyard effect because you don't have any waters on the field. Yeah, like this card is really annoying for Snake Eyes to deal with. Like it's not impossible, obviously. Like there are cards that can deal with this guy. Like they have cards that can deal with this guy, but like he's just really annoying for them to deal with. And he also has the effect that during the main phase, effect, you can destroy one water monster our opponent controls, and if we do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half the attack. And keep in mind, this is not a hard ones per turn effect. So theoretically, if you have 2 Stealth Crackers on the board, you can activate them both. And also, if you activate Stealth Cracker's effect and bring it back with Xyz's Revive Splash or Spider Shark's Floating effect, you can activate it again. So it's like, you can activate this guy as many times as you want. And it also has another neat bonus effect. If this card is Xyz summon card is destroyed, you can special summon Cracker spawns from your deck. Bring your extra deck up to the number of materials this card had. Then you can attach up to 1 water monster from your graveyard to each of those special summon monsters. And that's essentially why the Cracker spawn are in here. Like, essentially, if the opponent outs your Stealth Cracker, you can just summon 2 spawns, and if you have a way of bringing back Stealth Cracker, use it. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyway, Cracker spawns you can technically just make them like any other rank 4, but you're primarily going to be summoning them off of Stealth Cracker's floating effect. And these both have the effect that during the main phase, you can destroy 1 water monster your opponent controls, and if these cards are special summoned by the effect of a number of Xyz monsters destroyed, you can special summon Stealth Cracker from your graveyard. So essentially, these two cards create kind of this infinite loop. And not really an infinite loop, because like this only gets its effect if it's Xyz summons. So this kind of creates a loop where you just constantly have guys on board, and the only way to get rid of them, just constantly have guys on board. Plus, if Stealth Cracker dies, you bring two Cracker spawns, and then you revive it using Xyz Revive, you essentially get 3 pops. 3 pops, which is insanely good. Like, this card, I'd argue, is like the bread and butter of this deck. Like, he's the main boss monster more than anything else. Like, more than the 101s or even the Nash Knights, I'd argue that Stealth Cracker is like the main boss monster of Sharks. Like, it's such a good card. Oh yeah, and also requires 2 level 4 water monsters, so technically speaking, it is splashable, because if I recall correctly, like, there are other, like, water decks that can make a rank 4, like Marincess or... There's probably something else, but, like, that's the only other water deck I can really think of off the top of my head. Because, like, Goatees can make a rank 4, at least I'm pretty sure they can't. Because if I recall correctly, like, the only level 4 Goatee plays is, like, Lifeless, Leafless. All the other, like, Goatees are, like, either level 3 or lower, or level 5 or above. Like, actually, I can just look it up. Yeah, I could just look it up. Yeah, 2, 2, 6. Okay, they do have a 4. 2, 2, 6, 6. They do have a 4, which... Okay, I kind of forgot this card even existed. So they do have a 4 plus Leafish, but I don't know how you're getting both of them on the board to make a rank 4. So it's theoretically doable. Okay, and that's it for the rank 4 lineup. For our rank 4 lineup, and it's pretty strong. As for our rank 5s, we have number 94, Crystal Zero. Requires 2 level 5 water monsters, and during either player's turn, you can detach from this card, then target 1 face-up monster in the field. Its attack becomes half its turn. So yeah, this is just kind of a way for us to, like, close out games. Like, we can reduce the attack of 1 monster on our opponent's field. Though primarily Crystal Zero's main purpose is going to be to go into fully armored Crystal Zero Lancer, which is a rank 6 that requires 3 level 6 water monsters, or alternatively, you can use Xyz summon it by using a rank 5 water monster. And then it gains 500 attack for each material attached to it, so if you use, for example, Crystal Zero, if you Xyz summon Crystal Zero, then rank it up into fully armored Crystal Zero, you'll have 3 materials under it, so it gains 1500 attack, which gives it a total of 3700. Grand total of 3700 attack, which is just going to be really big. And if you combo that with, like, Abyss Dweller giving it an extra 500, that gives it 4200 attack. Just like, yeah, and that's kind of the main purpose of this card. It's just really big. And also, if it attacks and somehow your opponent doesn't die, you can make a really fucking big Zeus. So it's like, it also has another effect that I don't really think it's relevant. If this card will be destroyed by battle or card effects, you can attach a material on this card instead. Once per turn, you can material from this card. Navigate the effect. Oh wait, no, that's actually a pretty good effect too. I actually never read that part. Usually, by the time Crystal Zeros hits the board, usually it's just to kind of end the game. I mean, it's not a quick effect, which kind of sucks, but at the end of the day, having like essentially a Dark Rule or no more effect on a pretty easy to summon monster is actually really nice. Okay, yeah, this card actually much better than I thought it was. Like, I thought this was just a big guy. It actually has a pretty decent effect. Okay. Anyway, we've already went over Chaos 101. So anyway, Nash Knight, I'd argue, is our other main Xyz monster. Nash Knight is a generic rank 5 that has the effect that it cannot be destroyed by battle while number monsters on the field. Then during the main phase, you can detach 2 materials from this card, attach a number Xyz monster, a Barrier number Xyz monster from your extra deck, and then attach one other face-up monster on the field to this card as a material. This is really good because, like, this is non-targeting, non-destruction removal, which is just really good in general in Yu-Gi-Oh! Especially given that this card is also really easy to summon as well. The only real drawback is that you do need to play, like, cards like... You do need to place a decent number of... Actually, you don't really need to. You really just need the 101s. You don't really need Ragna Zero or the other Barrier numbers. Really just the 101s is all you need. So essentially, this is essentially a way so that, like, we can, like, suck up our opponent's monsters during their turn. And that's really good because, like, denying your opponent, not only does this, like, deny your opponent their, like, guys on board, it also denies them any graveyard effects those cards had, which is really good. Like, any card that, like, takes a monster out off the field that doesn't involve destroying it or sending the graveyard is really strong. And this is arguably our second. And, like, Nash Knight is our second strongest Xyz in our deck. And we're almost done with the deck profiling. I feel like we spent too fucking long on this, too. Anyway, that's for the... And Nash Knight also is Chaos Xyz form. We also rank up our Nash Knight into his Chaos Xyz form. Nash Knight is like rank 6 that uses 3 level 6, but you're going to just use Nash Knight to rank up into it. It cannot be destroyed by card effects, which, I mean, it's neat, but, like, it's not really gonna matter. You're not, like, he's not sticking around long enough for that to matter. You can detach an Xyz material from this card, and then you can just special summon. This is at the going. Then you can special summon from your extra 1 Barrier number monster from your extra deck, using this card you control as material, but destroy it during your opponent's next end phase. It is treated as a proper Xyz summon, which is nice. Because if I recall correctly, this only gauges. Okay, no, it actually doesn't gain its effect on it. It does properly Xyz on it, so you can bring it back with stuff like Monster Reborn, which is nice. Plus, you can also go into, like, the other number monsters. Like, there's some other pretty good numbers. Like, there's giant Barrier numbers like Giant Hand and, like, Chaos Masquerade are both pretty good cards that are worth considering. Though primarily the one I use is really just the 101s. And, like, Ragna Zero is also just a nice card. Anyway, this is going to be our primary way of getting to Chaos number 101. Like, since we're not playing any main deck rank magics, we're not playing any rank up spells, like, this is going to be our primary way of getting to Chaos number 101. And Chaos 101 is just an annoying card that'll just come back and give us life points, so we're always back in the game. And for our final Xyz monster, we're playing Zeus because we're playing an Xyz deck. Why would we not play Zeus? Like, Zeus is a card that you can Xyz summon it. You can essentially Xyz summon. It's a rank 12 Xyz monster that requires 2 level 12s, but you're never summoning it properly. Though it can be. Yeah, once per turn, if an Xyz monster battle this turn, you can also Xyz summon Divine Arsenal Zeus by using one Xyz monster you control as material. Transfer its materials over. Then, quick effect, you can detach 2 materials from this card and then send all other cards from the field to the graveyard. Once per turn of another, which is basically a board nuke that isn't a once per turn. So it's, theoretically, if we have Ragna Zero battle, our opponent doesn't die, we essentially use it to make a 4 material Zeus, which means in a board wipe you can use 2 times as insanely strong, especially given that Zeus doesn't destroy, it sends to graveyard, which sounds like it doesn't really matter, but it's actually really important because it doesn't trigger any floating effects cards would have. Unless like it doesn't, like a lot of cards float when they're destroyed by a card effect. However, Zeus does not destroy, so it doesn't trigger a lot of those cards, which is really good. And it also has a bonus effect that if another card is destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, you can attach one card from your hand, deck, or extra deck to this card's material, which is a bonus effect. It's a neat bonus effect, but it's not really going to come up very often. Normally, when Zeus hits the board, the game's kind of just going to, like the game's not going to stick. It's not going to last long enough for this to be impactful. Like, normally when Zeus hits the board, the game's not going to last long enough for his bonus effect to really be impactful. But regardless, it's a really strong card, and if you're playing any Xyz-focused strategy, there's really no reason to not put this in your deck. It's just such a good card. Anyway, that completes the deck profile. That took way too fucking long to do. Almost an hour just for the profile, and we haven't even gotten to any games. But anyway, let's get into some ranked matches with some shocks. Okay. Like, let's see how well this deck fares against the meta. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna mute my man. I'm gonna get some water. Okay, I almost queued up with the wrong deck. Oh my god. Oh, and we're going to go first. Nice. Like I almost just queued up with the wrong deck. Like, I've been playing a lot of Snake Eyes recently, and that deck, like, I didn't think it was as ridiculous. Like, everyone was telling me that deck was ridiculous, it's absurd, but I didn't really believe them. What is this hand? 3. You know, when I put 3 of a card in the deck, I don't expect to draw all 3 of them in my opening hand. Oh my god. I mean, it's not the end of the world. We have Torrential. But oh my god. Like, what are the odds of this happening? Oh my god, like... Oh man, and he has Maxi too. You know, let's just summon Right Hand Shark. This gives us plays next turn. I don't want to end on this, but I can't. Like, this is why Maxi sucks so much, dude. Like, you draw a shitty hand and your opponent just drops Maxi on you on top of that. Like, come on, dude. I'm not even playing it. Like, come on, dude. This hand's already not very good. Like, man, like... What are the chances we get this kind of hand? Ah, man. Like, I just gotta hope this Torrential Tribute's enough to stop him. Jed Synchron. Oh, he must not have a good hand either if this is what he's doing. Like, thank God. Like, please tell me you don't have any moves. Please. Like, there's no way he would start with Jet Synchron if he had anything. What? Mind control? Oh, okay. What? Why, though? Huh? Wait, what? Nemesis Protoss? What are you playing? Anyway, we're just... Yeah, get that shit out of here. Wait, what? Cannot be destroyed by card. Okay. Wait, okay, wait, that actually did help me. Somewhat. Okay. This is doable. I mean, the fact it can't be destroyed by card effects is annoying, but, like, we can get around that. Okay, Link Karibo. You 2v1 level 1 monsters. Okay, yeah, that doesn't matter. Okay. Okay, we can do this. This is very winnable. I am dumb as fuck. Why did I not summon Right Hand Shark? That was the entire reason I did that play. Oh my god, I am so fucking stupid. The entire reason I did that. Wait, where did my right hand shark? Never mind, I'm actually a genius. Huh? Oh wait, he has a... Does he? Oh, effectivate. Yeah, not on my watch, buddy. Never mind, I'm a genius. I forgot that was banished. So never mind, actually, I am a genius. Okay, you're gonna waste 2 effective ailers on this. Okay, buddy. Sure. So, like, this actually does hurt me a little bit. It does hurt my feelings. Actually, wait, yeah, I could just do that, actually. Okay, never mind. Like I was really thinking, like, why did I not summon Right Hand Shark? But, like, that's not happening anyway. I feel like if I could get rid of this Arch-Nemesis Protoss, he just does not have anything. Game? Hello? Like, the lag. Okay, so, like... Abyss Dwell. I'm trying to think, like, this can't be destroyed by card effects. Type. Also, until the end of this turn, neither play can type. Let's search from your reminder. Oh wait, this can't even special summon itself from the graveyard. It's not affected. Must first be special known from your hand by banishing 3 monsters with different types from your graveyard. It's outfield. It cannot be destroyed by card effects. Okay, so like I can go 1-on-1 here, but I feel like Spider Shark is better. Okay. I can't go for Stealth Cragger here. Yes. I'm gonna detach White Manta because I don't want him called by the Graving like Saw. Oh right, I can make Zeus. Never mind, that's actually much better than what I was gonna do. Okay, I think this game is pretty over. I completely forgot I was not walking the waters. Like, I always forget that Abyss Shark is like the only card in this deck that actually locks you in the water. Like, I'm always confused when I can summon Zeus in this deck. Even though, like, there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to. Okay, all I need is, like... I don't even really know what I could use here. I mean, it's not that. Okay, he's on a 2-turn clock. Ash is nice, because, like, it's clear he's bricking on something, and Ash will stop any play he tries to make. Like a Dazos. Though he is playing shit like Mind Control, so I need to be careful. Actually, until the end phase, and, like, there's no way he has a Linkful Neck. Like, huh. That sucks. Like, you are so annoying. My god. Triple... My god, I'm getting punished so hard. Okay, I just need to draw a Bahamut Shark. Like, what could I draw? Like another copy of Bahamut Shark? Like... Actually, no, I need Bahamut Shark exactly. Like, there's nothing else that does anything here. Like, him getting rid of my right hand sucks so much. Like, this is just... Oh my god. I can't summon that. Man. Man. Oh my god, if my right-hand shark was in the graveyard. Like, if I fired off that torrential tribute a little earlier, maybe I would have been able to do something. What? What is this deck? You have Protoss, 3 Effect Veilers, Saiyan, Jet Synchron, like, what is this? Do I have Earths in the grave? No, so Hasa doesn't do anything, and you're not getting that search, buddy. Also, Royal Rear Asa, the best charmer. Nice. But like, what is this deck? You have Saiyan, Protoss, Mind Control, Jet Synchron for some reason. Like, what are you playing over here? Droll. Oh my god, like, the thing is, like, from what I've seen, he doesn't really have, like, he needs like an 1800 normal summon, and I don't, actually, he only needs a 12. I really don't like doing this. And I feel like it doesn't really matter anyway. Oh man. If I had my right-hand shark wasn't banished. If my right-hand shark was not banished. Actually, wait, Exceed Revive. Are you fucking kidding? Yeah, I hope you like your 0 attack monster. Do you have an... Okay, I need to know what is this? What was that? Just hard drew Protoss. Are you fucking kidding me? I need to know what the fuck that was. What the fuck is this? This is the worst deck I've ever seen. Like, what the fuck am I looking at? Like, okay, like, what the fuck was that? Oh wait, going first, of course. Are you? Oh my god. Yeah, like that was just... What the fuck is this? Why? Why? He has Max C too. Wait, what? Huh? Wait, does he not have Max C? What could he have done during main phase of 1? Wait, what could he have done during main phase of 1 if he didn't have Max C? Okay, so it's like, go. Right hand. Okay, we can actually gain from this position. Card hand, okay. So there's quite a few things I can do from this position. Do I think he has Nibiru? Because depending... I can go Hope Woven, like, play around it just in case. You know what, if he has Nibiru, it is what it is. Yeah, now we have a Stealth Cracker that can't be destroyed in battle. Okay. Now we have this Shark. Grab ourselves a Crystal Shark. Okay, So we have, like, what could he have activated main phase 1 is what I want. Could we go into like a Nash Knight? So we have like a non-targeting pop, we have a suck, and we have Nibiru. So they're in a pretty good spot so far. Yeah. What could he have had that he could have activated? Like, what could he have had? Are you fucking kidding? Just... oh my god. I mean, Stealthcracker will float at least. Which is something. Yeah, attach something to this as material. We'll attach Buzzsaw. Into this one. Abyss Shark. Like, those cards aren't doing anything. Oh, so he actually is playing zombies. But why are you playing Raigeki? Brother. Like, if I was playing Snake... what? Like... like, that requires you to have a level 6. Oh. I see. But, like, does that do anything, though? Okay, that gets you to a level 6. Actually, no, it doesn't. I'm stupid. That does not do what I think it does. Like, gets into an 8. So, like... okay, he does go for the 6 instead of the 8. So that's 4, so one more summon then. He's one summon away. Okay, he's probably just gonna go for a breaker. I don't think there's... go for here. We'll wait for him to finish his turn. Okay, I'm gonna force you to waste Baron Negate on this. Little does he know that was the bait. Actually, no, I'll keep this on the grave. This is still good. Yeah, let's burn you a little bit. Yeah, the game was pretty much over. Okay, I'll do one more, then I'll call it. Yeah, one more. Let's see if we can get a Platinum 2. Let's see if Platinum 2 is doable. Well, we won the past 3, so it was inevitable. I'd lose a coin toss and eventually. Ugh. How long is this stream been going on? Now, okay, only an hour and 15. That's actually not been that long. Ooh, this is a pretty good hand. Droll, Ash, Buzz, Crystal. Pretty good. Yeah, pretty good hand. No way. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. You treat your face. Do your hand or okay, so I think I can Ash this guy. What does he think? Okay. Like something. Like, all this guy does is like activate something from deck. Dynamite, the true Draco fighter. Bro is thinking over there. Oh wait, that's a water. Yeah, I could just go to battle phase. Just go to battle phase, punch him. Like, what are you thinking so hard about? Yeah, and I just ashed that? Yeah, unless that set's called by, I'm fine. Almost big enough to just punch it. Okay, let me read some of these True Draco trap cards. You'll use a... Yeah, I'm just gonna go to battle. Okay. Yeah, that's platinum. Okay, I think I'm gonna call it quits there. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna end it off there. You leave? Yeah. I think that was pretty satisfying. I feel like I spent a little bit too long just talking about the cards and not playing the game. In regards, I feel like I did pretty good this time. Anyway, that's going to be it. Thank you all for showing up. Take care. Take a care.